Start trading crypto today. Sign up for our step-by-step video series to get set up with the best trading tools, start analyzing charts, enter and exit a trade properly, and most importantly, see if crypto trading is right for you. Join us at bitlabacademy.com.
Welcome to Rice TV X. On today's episode of the Rice Crypto Show, I am joined by fellow content creator, crypto and NFT enthusiast, Jenna X. And I invited her on for a YouTube content creator spotlight so that we can learn more about her and her channel. Before we get into it, visit ricetvx.com and sign up for my mailing list so you never miss an update or new Rice TVX content. You will also find my various social media links and more. You can also find Rice TVX on Odyssey and Library, where I have a full catalog of my videos, post up extra content, and share other appearances. And you can also find Rice TVX on BitChute. I will include links in the video description for everything I just mentioned, as well as everything shared on today's video. Okay, joining me on today's show for a YouTube content creator spotlight is Jenna X. Jenna, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well this Friday afternoon. We're recording on the 14th of October. I'm going to have this released early next week. And I really appreciate you accepting my invitation. I know we had to reschedule a couple times.
Yeah.
But we're here.
Yeah.
I think I became familiar with you on one of the episodes of BitBoy Cryptos Around the Blockchain. Is that correct?
Yep, I was on there.
How many times have you appeared?
I've been on 3 times.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
Yeah, it's an awesome show. Super fun.
I totally enjoy it. I'm usually on every week. This month, I'm only on a couple times, but I'm generally on weekly. So I enjoy the conversations with different content creators, and the exposure that Ben offers us is really great. And
yeah,
so I try to do things like that in return. Like when my channel first started, I had a lot of people helping me out, bringing me on to kind of showcase my channel, help me get subscribers. And that's what I do with these YouTube content creator spotlight series. It's a way to introduce you to the audience and then bring you back on for some potential roundtables and more. But for people who might be unfamiliar with you, and I'm going to have links for your social media on Twitter, your YouTube channel, and your TikTok, which will be screen sharing. Do you mind introducing yourself to people who may be unfamiliar with you?
Sure, absolutely. So my name is Jenna. My channel is called Jenna X, and my handle on pretty much everything is Xrp Jenna on Instagram, Twitter, all of that. And yeah, so as far as what I'm doing, I just love really honestly, the XRPL. I'm not a maxi, but I love being able to give them spotlight as well, right? To projects that have a really good team and that are doing the right thing, that are good actors in the space. And I like to give them that kind of spotlight and just see what everybody's up to. I love it. But I also love the world of NFTs, exploring those. God, I've learned so much. So I also want to be able to share what I can with everyone and help educate. But honestly, I want to start getting a lot more women into the crypto space. It's really kind of scary because it's a male dominated space. And so many of us are scared to look dumb, or, maybe we've been scared away from it by whoever. Maybe our spouse doesn't approve of it. Who knows? Or for whatever reason. But I do want to help bring a lot more women in the space. So that's a big focus for me going forward.
I like that. And I've had several different females in the space on here, but yeah, when you go to conferences, you will see females, but the ratio of male to female is definitely, there's more guys attending and involved in the space, but that is changing more and more. I believe in Miami, I'm going to be going down for Decentral towards the very end of November, and that's right at the beginning of Art Basel Week. And
Yes.
I think there's a women's crypto conference. I got an email on it today, like a women's Web3 conference. So I've been seeing a lot more of those type of events. So
Cool.
yeah, I appreciate you bringing more ladies in the space. I mean, we definitely need to diversify with having multitudes of different people, because the more people that we have, especially as content creators, the more that we can reach more individuals, because you're going to be able to reach people I'm not able to reach, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So what exactly brought you into crypto, and when was this?
Oh my gosh. That would have been August of, I think it was 2017. Was that when Bitcoin was going towards like 16, 17,000? I always forget if it was 2017 or 2018. And one of my friends had told me about it. And it was basically like a taboo thing though, that only like criminals did. You had to know where to buy it and how to get it. So I started asking a lot of my clients, and I was like, do you know anything about this? And finally I found a lady, her husband was into Bitcoin. So he helped me get a Coinbase account set up, taught me a couple of good security tips, and off I went. And then I really dabbled just a little bit, and then I got back into it a lot in 2020. And whenever I found out that Ripple was getting sued by the SEC, that really caught my attention. I wanted to get as much XRP as possible before the lawsuit, because in my head, I'm thinking, I remember when Tesla got sued. So I want to get as much as possible. Everybody's going to dump it. And I've been following the case ever since. And that's when I really just dove into it. And one of my friends, she's in the NSA, she really, really took me down the XLM and XRP rabbit hole. So that got me really
She's in
interested.
the NSA, as in the government 3-letter agency?
Yeah.
Okay. Ironically, you mentioned XRP and Ripple. David Schwartz worked for the NSA.
I've heard that.
And there was a white paper that came out in the late 90s from the NSA. How to Mint, I believe is what it's called. And he is a cryptographer. So yeah, pretty interesting past. I definitely want a chance to be able to interview David Schwartz, and me and you will talk about XRP and kind of get into Ripple and all that 100%. Because I have some strong differing feelings, but I'm very open-minded, and I respect other people's choices. So I'm not going to bash or anything like that. I just want to kind of get your perspective with the XRP stuff, and I'll give you my perspective. But you mentioned the SEC case. Are you paying any attention to the library versus SEC case?
I haven't been, to be quite honest with you.
Because I have a really good feeling that it's going to be resolved before the SEC versus Ripple XRP case, and it could come into play with how the decision will be made for the XRP case. That people aren't really, a lot of individuals now, John Deaton and a couple other attorneys, they're definitely paying attention to the library case, and there's supposed to be a case, there's supposed to be a decision already made, and it's late. So I would just encourage you, we're all in the same camp. As much as I'm not a fan of some forms of centralization, I'm not against XRP or Ripple when it comes to the SEC case. I don't want to see the SEC have precedents where they can come after more cryptocurrency projects and make this a lot more limited and cause problems for the space. I'm definitely pro freedom.
Exactly. But at the same point, like, we do need the regulatory clarity. I mean, we have to have that. But for Gary Gensler to basically say that everything's a security, I think is absolute BS.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. So what made you decide ultimately to start a YouTube channel, and when did you start it?
You know what? So I didn't even get on Twitter until last year. I was on Clubhouse, and the first thing I wanted to learn when I got on Clubhouse was I searched for XRP, and I found like XRP community rooms and stuff like that. And I ended up meeting in one of the Clubhouse rooms David Gokhshtein, and he and Stacy, who she has Blockchain Beauty Shop, she was his community manager, were like, you know what? You need to get on Twitter. You got to get on Twitter, because I kept asking all these questions. Like, you got to get on there and learn. And then last year in August, David had sent me, a contract, and I got an offer from Gokhshtein Media to create content for them. Okay. And so I started YouTube. But I started my YouTube under the wrong email. So that first one, when I stopped working with them, and that email got canceled, it got wiped out. So I had to start another YouTube over, but it's fine. So I just kind of kept going with it, but it was cool.
Was the Gottsteins, or I say Gottstein like it's like a Rammstein or something, but was their YouTube channel taken down?
No, like I created my YouTube using the company email. Like I didn't think about it, and I didn't realize I couldn't manage it if I didn't have a company email. So,
okay, that makes sense. Totally.
Yeah. So then like I couldn't switch it over, and I don't know. So it went away, but it's fine. I just started again.
I like David a lot, and he's somebody who I've been meaning numerous times to get back in contact with and get him on the show, but just slides through the wayside.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure I make a note here because I need to get in touch with him.
I'm super grateful because I wouldn't be on Twitter. I wouldn't have started YouTube if it were not for him saying, you should do this, get into this, and just to take a chance with myself. So for that, forever grateful.
Felt like I had to sneeze there for a second. I think I'm all right. The X in your channel, is that for XRP?
I like X projects, a lot of X projects, and X means money.
X means money?
Yeah.
Where does that come from? I'm just curious.
Somebody who worked for a bank told me that X means money.
Okay.
I like it.
You're not Gen X though, are you?
I'm Jenna X.
I mean, you're Jenna X, but I mean like Generation X is what I meant.
What year is Generation X?
I don't know.
What does my
I'm
birthday
Generation
need to
X.
be?
Let's see here so I can get this specific. What years?
I have a side part. I think that makes me some kind of millennial.
I think you're a millennial. I was just curious because that is one of the reasons why I have with Rice TV X was not for XRP or anything like that.
Okay.
It was for like Generation X. X marks the spot. Some people who were illiterate when they would sign with an X. Some people related back to the cross. So there's a lot of different interesting reasons for it. But
everyone tells me it like sounds like an OnlyFans name or something like that, but I've never gone that route. I didn't
think about it like that, but now that you say it, it totally sounds like an adult stars, like film stars,
right?
Name.
Yeah,
like Jenna X coming up on stage next or something.
There's nothing that racy on my YouTube.
I'm sure.
Guys.
No, I can tell you're a classy lady. I can tell you're a classy lady.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's see here. Talking about your YouTube channel, what kind of content are you covering project-wise aside from like NFTs?
Random shit.
Well, I mean, are you more focused on XRP? Is it like an XRP focused channel where you talk about other cryptocurrencies as well?
I really don't talk about XRP that much because I talk about it in so many other places. I kind of get tired of talking about it a little bit. But I have XRPL projects, like probably 90% of those, 99% are. I'm really not somebody you'd come to with an ERC20 project unless you're doing some kind of cross-chain, chain agnostic project. But I like NFTs, but now I'm getting really picky. Like I like NFTs with utility, but then that gets sticky, right? Because you're like, oh, is this legal? Is it not? Is it going to be a security? Like we know that pretty much any kind of ICO is going to be a security, but if you raise money via selling NFTs for your project, we're in that gray area right now. So,
right.
Well,
it was like, I mean, back in 2017, they had the ICOs. Then they went from there to doing like initial DEX exchanges or DEX offerings, and initial exchange offerings. They and then the NFTs. They've tried to do a lot of different things to skate, avoiding regulation and avoiding getting involved with the SEC. Now you mentioned XRPL, and this is something I haven't had a chance to like really dive into, but I've been hearing this term being used more and more. I'm assuming it's the XRP Ledger, and does the XRP token run on the XRPL?
Yes, it does.
And then you can create your own tokens, much like an ERC20, using the XRPL versus using the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah, and like God forbid, let's say XRP would go away or something happen, that doesn't make the XRPL go away. You know, you can still build on it. They would just have to pair, I guess, with a stable coin or something. But yeah, it's just a ledger and where everybody can build on.
Okay. And now NFTs are being able to be created on the XRPL as well?
Yes, but right now, a lot of projects just have NFT IOU tokens and they're focused on building their communities. You can mint an NFT on XLS 14D, which is what we're running on now, but it's not the preferred way to go. XLS 20D could be literally voted on by the validators any point in time. It could be ready to go. It's been one of those just waiting games. So everybody wants that because, you know, it comes along with that is you can bid on NFTs, you can have royalties and all kinds of things that you can't do right now in XLS 14.
Okay, no, I like that. That's a good explanation too, because I was thinking that it was just basically the blockchain that's being utilized by the XRP token, the XRPL. It's just you're hearing that verbiage coming out a lot more, and I just wanted to clarify that for people who just, for one, wasn't sure and maybe were confused. What are your thoughts with the SEC case? Since you're deep in the community, what are you hearing now that there's been more information? I think the Hinman stuff is being forced into
Yeah.
I don't know what the word you would use for it, but
Yeah,
as
that has to be
evidence.
released. Yeah, the Hinman documents like those, emails like that, all has to be released. And Judge Torres also is now allowing two companies, one iRemit and another one, it's like Tap Blue, is some kind of private jet company, and they're allowed to go ahead and be like, I might fuck this up, Amika Curie, anyway, friend of the court. So basically they're going to state how if XRP is deemed a security, how it would hurt their business because they are already using it and everything. So that's something that's also really great. But ultimately, I think that the SEC needs to lose a battle to win the war. And I think that that's exactly what this will be. And I'm hoping that it'll be finished within the next like 3 to 4 months. But either way, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm even hearing speculation that it could go through mid next year. Have you heard anything about the possibility that the SEC was trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Settle, and
Yeah.
Ripple decided not to settle and decided to pursue the case?
Yes, 100%. Like they could have paid the fine, they could have settled, but they said absolutely not. And we want clarity. So I think that's why XRP will be the standard they go to.
What now? I think the way that I understand some of the stuff that came out recently when we saw the price surge with XRP on exchanges, where there was some positive news coming out from the courts, what I was understanding from that was anything that had to do with the initial release of the token and maybe private sales or what you might consider an ICO don't come into play. It's more now based on the marketing tactics that XRP Ripple is used to promote their product. Are you familiar with that, or am I completely off?
No, I don't really know how to comment on that, to be quite honest with you.
Okay. No, that's cool. I respect that. I mean, there's definitely areas of things that, I'm not completely knowledgeable about. And all the intricacies about this, I wasn't really 100% sure. But I am ultimately rooting for XRP. It's just to kind of get into, I'm not a big fan of centralization. I come from the cypherpunk mentality, being that be your own bank, not work with the banking system. I'm not necessarily, I understand why people say we need regulation, but I'm not a fan of regulation.
Right.
And then XRP is working with the traditional banking system to basically be an alternate or a replacement for the Swiss system, which is global payment system, basically. And they are a World Economic Forum, I believe. They're a World Economic Forum partner, which I'm not a big fan of. I believe Garlinghouse is on the board of directors or on something involved with the WEF and stuff. So that's not sitting well with me. I've had a lot of arguments about decentralization versus centralization, and maybe the node structure and all that is decentralized, but with XRP, Ripple, I should say, owning more than 50% of the supply of tokens, whether in an escrow or not, is kind of a very centralized thing. So I'm going to give you an opportunity, and I know the XRP army is probably going to be hating on me on this, which I'm very open-minded. I'm not saying it's not a way for people to progress and make more fiat if that's their goal, or make more or trade and make more Bitcoin or Ethereum. But
isn't that everyone's goal though? Doesn't everyone buy more crypto to get more fiat? Honestly, most people that are in a crypto are in it for the gains to trade out for fiat.
Most, yeah, 100%. I would agree with that, but not all people.
Right, not all. And every single thing has its own purpose, own use case. Like, I mean, you can't compare XRP to Bitcoin. They're two different things. You know, XRP is made for payments. Bitcoin is made as a store of value. And I don't think it's going anywhere. I love the concept of it. It's great. But, you know, for XRP, it's like, they don't care if you're a retail investor and you don't like it. Central bank digital currencies are happening either way. It doesn't matter whether you're on board or not.
Right.
So me, who holds all the money? The central banks. Like, I'm going to go where the money is. That's what I'm going to follow. Do I agree with it? No. CBDCs are scary, right? Like, for them to have complete power, they can turn off your money at any time. They could turn off to a whole race of people, country, anything they want to do, right? But that's why it's important for you to be smart, to get educated, to learn, and, you know, to know what you hold.
No, 100%. And I definitely think CBDCs are a dangerous thing to humanity. The idea of programmable money, tracking and tracing, lack of privacy, giving more control to governments where they can basically if you don't go along with the direction, I got to be careful with some of the things I'm saying, but if you're not going along with the narrative, then you could be penalized for something like that. There could be a social credit score system coming out. There's a really good video that I did an interview yesterday. It's going to be coming out right around the same time as yours, where we talk about it's a guy named Kent Lewis, and he does a report on a new worldwide financial system and solutions to live free, and talking about CBDCs, the ISO 20022 and a lot. So that's pretty interesting. And again, I appreciate your opinion. I mean, I knew that you were a fan of XRP. I knew that.
How did you know?
How did I know? How did I know? What is your name? What is your name on Twitter?
Just kidding. I'm a Bitcoin
right.
maxi.
I can tell you're sarcastic. So I knew in advance, and I still invited you on. So it's not as if I specifically, I don't have a problem with people that are fans. I don't have a problem with the XRP army. I do own XRP, but my goal for owning XRP is to stack more sats.
Right.
And I personally am in that small percentage of people who's not in this for the cha-ching change. I'm in it for like the change that it really brings, the creative destruction, the power it takes away from the central banks.
Sure. And I totally agree with that. Like, I think though, you know, that's really important. Something you hit on, you're going to take gains, you're going to stack sats with it, which, you know what, I'm going to take gains off of my XRP and I'm going to buy into Bitcoin, because why not? But I'm going to buy into a Bitcoin dip, not all-time high. But it's smart to have a strategy. And I think that that's something people need to think about. But I will say, you know, there's a lot of people in the XRP community that give a lot of false hope, that are influencers that say it's going to 35,000 or 50,000, whatever.
589.
They're completely delusional. Like, I don't understand how that's going to happen or happen overnight or in our lifetime. And I think it's more, you know, it makes more sense to have yourself a little ladder of an exit strategy, know when you're going to take gains along the way, because you have to take profits and you have to pay yourself. And that looks different for every single person. But it's something, if you're going to get into this game, you've got to figure out. Otherwise, you're just going to get fucking wrecked over and over again. And you're going to be like, shit, holding the bag.
Well said. And yeah, I mean, if you do the math, you'd have to, I mean, in order for something like Shiba Inu to be able to be worth $1, it would have to overtake the market valuation of Bitcoin. And there's no way Shiba Inu is going to overtake the market value of Bitcoin. So you got, when you're saying what you're saying, I mean, when you do the math and you see how many coins are out and how much it would take, you can kind of gauge those things. There's some really good quant traders and other traders that can kind of gauge those prices. I'm not one of those individuals, but I try to interview them as much as possible. The 589 meme is pretty funny though.
It is. Oh my God. I love it. And you know what? Like I have an XRP tattoo and literally like 589.
Let me see it. You do have it. Does it say Ripple underneath of it?
No, it says loyalty.
Oh, X loyalty.
But then look.
And then you started off saying that you're not a Ripple maxi or an XRP maxi.
I know. And I have like.
What other? Yeah, you got an XRP shirt. What other crypto tattoos do you have there, ma'am?
None.
Okay. Okay. Just.
It's 90% of my portfolio, I realized.
XRP alone or including like,
I've tried to get other things and I've taken gains off of other things and I've, done some good margin trading on other crypto, but there's none that I'm really hodling. I probably have 90% in XRP.
Okay.
Well, hope it works out.
Thank you for doing that.
I'm either going to the moon or sinking with the ship. That's what I guess. I made up my mind.
Well, I mean, even if I don't know. I mean, even if XRP loses the case, which I don't necessarily see him being the case, it's not going to destroy the price of the token.
It's not,
and it's still being utilized around the rest of the world. It's just the United States is kind of excluding it. Get that?
I see what you did there.
I'm Rice TV X. You're Jenna X, and we just X'd it. I love it. Okay, so I noticed that you had some videos about the stellar rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Can you enlighten me?
Yeah. So right now, I've just started with that, and I'm actually going to do that over a long period of time and make a bunch of those videos, because the deeper you go, I've found a certain group of bad actors and they keep launching the same scams. Now, a lot of people can look into these. Now, Stellar's amazing, but right now my focus is on weeding out the bad actors and how to spot a scam token, because I start going into their telegrams. I'll try to hit them up, ask questions, find who they are. But what a lot of people are doing, because it's so easy to spin up a liquidity pool on Stellar, they're hyping it up, getting people in, and they're slowly draining it, right? And then they'll go spin up another one, get people's money, and they'll suck it out. And it's the same group of people with a lot of it. But I found some really amazing arbitrage opportunities on some different dexes with Stellar. I found some really amazing partnerships with them, and I really wish I was at Meridian right now. That's being held, and that's a whole Stellar conference that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So there's what is that? I'm not so familiar. Deep. But it's a really big conference. I think they're doing it in Italy right now. But I found this really cool one, and it's the one I started the series off with, and it's about SHX, which is Stronghold Payments. And we know that Stellar is IBM, right? And SHX has a ton of partnerships, whether it be IBM, they have people on their board from Square, PayPal, all over the place, but they are already being used, and they have a really, really great white paper. Go check it out. But they are definitely up and coming. So it's a really good project. Very low market cap. Not a lot of people know about it. So I wanted to come out with that one. I really like it. It's one of the few that are a gem. Yeah.
Now, the Stellar scammers, are you talking about people creating tokens on the Stellar blockchain that are creating pump and dump situations or just rug pull situations?
So there was this group called QSI and then one Whiplash 347. And last year I got into it with my Lobster wallet, and they would have all these different tokens. And I wasn't into it serious, but what you do, and it's 1,000 different tokens, throw $1 in each one, and you can watch and see which ones start going up, and then you can start to pay attention, right? I don't know. I made a couple $1,000s off my shitcoin casino, but you start to pay attention, you see who are running some of these scams, but a lot of them got busted. But what they started pushing is this thing called QFS, which is the Quantum Financial System. So I'm working on a video right now, and some people don't believe the QSI version of it, but they believe a different version of it. So I'm getting things from all different ends with that and talking to a lot of different people. So
before we started recording, me and you were talking privately, and I'd mentioned something about the 17th letter which most people can equate what the 17th letter is if you can't figure it out. But the idea of the QFS comes from that wing of, or that direction of people, that goes along with med beds and all kinds of other things. If you're not familiar, that is a crazy rabbit hole.
Right, exactly. And I'm like, I can't put that into one show though. I can't. There's literally so much with it.
That would be like a series, like you're saying.
And I have to stay neutral is the thing. I can't push anybody anyway. I just have to show. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of hard to be very neutral with crypto. In order for you really to truly be like that, I think you couldn't really own any of the cryptocurrencies you're talking about, or any at all. And that's the best way for someone to be neutral and come at this from a very, very fair perspective without even subconsciously realizing that your ex is just coming, you got it tattooed on you, you're wearing shirts. It's subliminally taking over your mind. So
I know it is.
So how can you be fair to other projects if you're Jenna XRP, basically? I'm just kidding you. I know
you're right. I cannot be fair to Ethereum. I think it sucks. I don't like it. And there's a couple others I don't like either, but it's fine. I like ones that make sense.
Well, I guess really, if you don't mind sharing, with just with the Ethereum specifically, what do you not specifically like about
Oh, well, I'm
Ethereum?
so glad you asked. I don't like a lot of things. I don't like everybody else, the gas fees, the transaction times. I got into Ethereum NFTs last year, and I got, I bought these crypto pills. It was the worst money I ever spent on my life, and I didn't even get high. It was the worst pills I ever had in my life. And anyway, aside from
these
that,
are NFTs?
Yeah, these are NFTs.
Okay.
The gas fees that you have to pay on them, and just any NFTs, were absolutely ridiculous. And I started thinking about, I'm like, the money that is just being thrown away. There are hungry people. There are people starving. This money could go for anything else, but fucking bullshit. It's nothing. Where is it going? I could be buying so many XLM with that. I could be buying so many XRP with that and have a much higher ROI anywhere else. Why am I going to go swap something? I'm going to go buy $350 worth of Keyshoe, but to get $350 worth of Keyshoe, I got to spend $300 on gas fees? No, I don't want to do that. I got screwed so many times and I'm over it. So that's why new people coming into the space, I know how hard people work for their money. If you were in on ETH early, good for you. I was not. So I don't like it. And unforking it is not my problem. So I don't really care about everything else. I'd rather go with a better technology off the bat, save money, lower fees, faster transaction time. Good. We are getting on with our day and we have amazing technology.
Have you looked into the Pulse rabbit hole at all yet?
Pulse chain and Hex?
Yeah.
I do have some Pulse and Hex friends that have gotten me into that. And I do have Hex, and I will definitely get some Pulse chain whenever it comes out because I don't want to miss that. I had a chance to buy Hex, and that's after I got a couple rug pulls before that. So I didn't jump on it. I was like, Nah, that's another one. So I missed that.
Well, at least those rug pulls made you skeptical. Sometimes you might lose out on opportunities, but you might have made a lot bigger mistakes had you not gone through what you went through. I think every learning experience helps us to move forward.
Yeah, I think Emacs was my worst decision. Yeah, Emacs and Keyshoe, probably.
So we mentioned XRP and we mentioned Stellar, which to me are like sister projects almost. They're very, very parallel in what they're trying to do. Almost competitive in a way. I kind of was getting the feeling that the XRP community wasn't big fans of Stellar. Do you kind of get any backlash for covering Stellar?
No, I think a lot of people in the XRP community, might have bad feelings about Jed McCaleb, but so what? I think that he and David Swartz are probably just frenemies, honestly. I think they probably all actually work together. But no, I think that Stellar definitely has its place. It's definitely in bed with CFTC. So they have a lot of big players on their side and everything. I know you're not going to have issues with regulation, but it does kind of bother me because they really don't seem to do a whole lot for all the scams. But at the same point, that's so low on their totem pole, they're not even looking at it. So, but I think Stellar is going to be more for the retail side of things. And I think, XRP is going to be, for your banks and everything like that. But we already see people using Stellar Pay in different countries and everything. So
Okay. Yeah, cool. Maybe you can enlighten me about some of those things, like the Stellar Pay and stuff, like in future shows.
sure.
You mentioned shitcoin casino.
Yeah.
Can you define and explain what this shitcoin casino is?
Absolutely. So this was part of the Whiplash thing. So last summer, the crypto market was pretty boring. It was like after April, it was like in June, July, August, I was pretty bored. So I got in my Lobster wallet and I started going through Hidden Stellar, right? All of these different Stellar websites. You type in stellarmart.org or Hidden Stellar or whatever it was, right? Stellar Mint. And there's all these tokens that'll pop up. So you just start setting your trust lines. You add this, add this, add this. So you put like $1 into every single one of them. Well, that's what I did. And then I started to watch which ones would really move. And then one day one went up to like, I don't know, a few bucks. So it caught my eye and I'm looking, I'm like, cool. So then every day I see it fluctuates. And it was just like clockwork every single day. So I'd buy the dip and I'd cash out at the top, buy the dip. Like it was almost like it was timed out. There's a few of them that were like that. I don't know.
Smart moves. Smart
Yeah,
moves.
it was pretty cool. But then there's some where there's no liquidity at all, like, and they'll just take your money and it's gone.
Yeah, that happens, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's definitely like a casino, but if you're bored, it's fine.
Yeah, and I think, if people need to know the risks that are involved with that. I mean, if you're playing with money that you can't, that you can afford to lose, or let's say you get involved in a project, you invest in a cryptocurrency, you take your profits, the profits you can use, and then it's like playing with house money at that point. You're not really at that point, anything that you would have put into the project, you've gotten that money back out and literally just gambling. So that's kind of what I was getting from what you said. I just wanted to make sure I understood the shitcoin casino. Now I can only imagine a casino site that's going to be built. That's going to be called the shitcoin casino.
I'm sure there will be. Like, I'm sure one will actually like end up in Vegas or like in the metaverse or something like that. And you'll see all the ones that have like died or something like that as your slots. That'd be cool.
That would be hilarious. Well, I really enjoyed the conversation. I definitely would like to, have you back on for some future episodes, kind of diving into some different specific topics, but really wanted to kind of get this overview, learn more about you and find out about your channel. I'm going to have links down below for your YouTube, your TikTok, and your Twitter account. And before we do wrap up, do you have anything that you want to share? Anything you want to add?
No, I just want to say thank you so much. I think it's awesome what you do. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show and you sharing with your viewers. And yeah, so thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. No problem at all. Again, this will be linked down below, but you could follow Jenna over on Twitter at Xrp Jenna. And you will find her on YouTube, Jenna X. It's actually Jenna X Media, but Jenna X, you can find her on YouTube and then also on TikTok. So yeah, I do appreciate your time. And if you can bear with me 1 second, just going to do the wrap up of the recording. Cool. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I do greatly appreciate. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribed. And again, check out the links that we talked about in today's video. And I will leave you with this. As I leave you always, I encourage you to be a blessing to others, to treat people how you want to be treated, be the glitch you want to see in the matrix, the change you want to see in the world. Practice change. And until next time, much love.